Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see by the title of this video, I'm talking about my unpopular book opinions I have, which is more so just 9 book opinions I have. I don't know if they're unpopular, but it's like a catchier title. So I think some of them are definitely unpopular, but some are kind of in the middle. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys for 100 subscribers. Thank you. We're just gonna get up close and personal here. I have always dreamed of having 100 subscribers ever since I was little, and I really appreciate that you guys have made that come true. Which is my cup now. Alright, we're tall again. So, you guys know the drill. Grab yourself a drink. I have a tea here. I know it's not Christmas time. I'm not trying to be disrespectful yet. What? I know it's not Christmas time yet. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But this is the biggest mug I have. And my tea is still too hot to drink. So we're going to start off the video since we hit 100 subscribers with Reese's Big Cup. I already had the other one. So I'll just have a Reese's peanut butter king size. But anyways, let's get started with the video before I keep yapping, because I yap a lot. Okay, I just need to have another bite real quick. That is so good. Alright. The first bookish opinion I have is I hate Icebreaker. I hardly read that book. I think I got about 100 pages in, and there was still no plot. And I don't just mean like, oh yeah, there's like a lot of smart. Like, I mean, there was no plot. Like, it didn't make any sense. And there was no hate to Hidden Face. But I just hated the book. It was a little too much for me, and not my forte. I could not get into it. It was just too boring. And like, it took me like a month to read 100 pages of that book. And it was on Kindle, and I read pretty fast on my Kindle. So that said a lot. But I did not like that book whatsoever. Even just the first 100 pages. Like, I'm not going to finish it. I thought about getting Wildfire and all that and going through it, but it's not going to happen no matter what I do. And honestly, it was so hyped up. It was too overhyped as well. So like, I was expecting so much more. My next 2 unpopular opinions kind of tie together. So I've seen lately on booktok that people don't like the rainbow bookshelf organization. My bookshelf is just not organized, both of them. I will have a bookshelf organization video coming out soon because it's getting bad, and I've gotten some new books lately. But genuinely, like, I think it's fine, which leads me to my next thing, which is series don't need to be together. Okay, that might be an unpopular opinion, but like, let me grab the books here. Hold on. I have these together right now because my bookshelf's so unorganized. For example, I don't think these books go together. This one, like, they're just different. Like, I don't see them going together. I haven't read any of these. I really want to read these though. But like, sitting on my bookshelf, I don't like them together. And I love being able to look and see a rainbow theme, which a lot of people might not like. They might have authors together or have a series together, like so. But I have just never been that person. I've just kind of had my books where I think they look pretty on a shelf, and that was just always how I did it because I wasn't on BookTok and there was no judgment to what I did. And I still like organizing my bookshelf that way, and it's always my favorite. It will probably always be my favorite. I just don't like series together. I like some, and like the only way I would have these together is if I like were displaying them, because the covers are all similar, right? If I were displaying the covers, but the spines, I just really don't like them together. And I don't know if it's unpopular, but like in general, I love the Rainbow Book Organization. I will probably use it to the day I die. And I don't care if series are together on bookshelves. I don't care. I really don't. But let's see if my tea's cool enough yet. Let's try it. Nope. I can already tell it's too hot. My fourth unpopular opinion is Colleen Hoover books aren't that bad. Books. I've heard a lot about her. I don't know anything specifically from my own research. I am not defending anything that is going on about her. I don't know. But her physical books, I don't mind. I read It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us, and Verity, and I loved all three of them. Verity was definitely very disturbing, but that is for some people and not for others. And genuinely, I believe that she's hated on way more because she became popular first, and that unlocked BookTok and people getting into reading. And it was just because of COVID, honestly, and quarantine. And in general, I think that her novels are good. They're fast-paced, easy to read for new readers. They definitely, like, are in need of trigger warnings and stuff, and, like, it's good that people are talking about the books. People know what they're signing up for when picking up that book. But I genuinely don't mind her writing, which leads me into my other opinion. Okay, guys, I had to pause for a minute, but my fifth unpopular opinion is Sarah J. Maas is overhyped. I said it. I have read ATAT and most of A Court of Mist and Fury, and I don't like the books. Why am I so white? I genuinely don't like the books. I find they're too long. Although fantasy isn't too much for me. Like, it's not my forte, honestly. But I do want to try to read Throne of Glass and some of those books. But there are a lot. There's a lot. Like, everything of hers is a big dedication. There's big books, or they're a really long series. So, I genuinely think that her books are overhyped. And they really don't need to be as long as they are, okay? Some of them are just so long. I don't see how information a novel needs that much. Like, they're like a dictionary. That's just my own opinion, though. If you love Sarah J. Maas books, you go ahead, read them. Tell me what ones you recommend for me, and I would love to try reading them. But her books just really, really aren't for me. Only a little bit left. Next, I think TBRs are putting too much pressure on a hobby. You will notice in my playlist, I have it marked as TBRs/hopefuls. And I prefer to make my titles November hopefuls rather than November TBR. This is just because I think if you put, these are to be read, I have to read these books. I'm putting so much pressure on myself for something that's a hobby. A hobby. That is not necessary. You can set goals. You can set hopefuls. But to be read, so strict. People make their Goodreads goals and things like that so unrealistic, and it puts too much pressure on a hobby. This is something you're using as a form of escapism. You shouldn't have to escape from your form of escapism. So I genuinely find like, even, like, people that make full-time book content, that's putting a lot into a hobby. And it definitely takes practice to not burn out from that hobby, because that's something you chose to do from the beginning, and now you have pressure to continue doing it. So I love doing this and stuff, but I don't think I could just do that. Like, I need other things in my life, and that's just me personally. But I do think that TBRs are so toxic, and definitely a thing that come from a negative side of booktok, with like a lot of pressure on my seventh unpopular opinion is that chapters should only end at the end of a page and begin at the top of the page. Let me show you what I mean. Do these books even have chapters? Yeah. So you'll see him. This starts chapter 2 at the beginning of the page, which means it ends at the end of a page. And I have read books for school and stuff, and older books, that the chapter begins right here, or right here. Why would you start a chapter at the end of a page? Obviously, it has some sort of significance for an English class or whatever, but just for like generalized fun reading rather than reading for meaning. I don't think the chapters should end in random places. It bugs me so much, and I prefer to be able to flip to a new page and start a brand new page for a new chapter when I end reading, because you don't just end in the middle of a chapter. You can't do that. That's too much. Last two kind of correlate. The first one is white book pages suck. Okay, for example, I had a copy of November 9th by Colleen Hoover. The pages were bright white. These ones aren't bad. They look bright white because of this giant light. Hold on. These are not bright white. And I genuinely love that they're not bright white, because I can't read a book with bright white pages. It hurts my eyes. I already obviously have trouble seeing properly, but staring at bright white pages, especially trying to read outside and then it glares, my paper shouldn't have a glare. Should not have a glare. But definitely, I think that white book pages suck and they need to be gone. I will not read a book with bright white pages. It's so unsettling to me. I don't know why. I hate it. People are like, oh, it's crisp, but this leads me to my next thing. Flipsy books are better than store-bought books. I love a book that has yellow tinted pages. It has a little something to it, okay? Like, I got this from Book Outlet, and like, there's little scuffs and stuff. The book is a little bent, you know? Like, I don't need my books to be perfect. I need them to look a little lived in. Although, I will not cry despite my books intentionally. Like, I won't just bend it all the way. No. I think my ATAT book and my According to Mr. Fury book are the only two books that I have that have. I don't even know what these do. They don't. Okay, never mind. Genuinely, so I don't let any of my books have bent spines, and I don't think I will. What tea cup is it? My tea's finally cooled off. It's still really hot though. Burn a little hole. Yeah, burn them from my mouth. But those are all the unpopular book opinions that I have. If you have any other random unpopular book opinions, make sure to comment them down below. I would love to know some other book opinions people have, or if you agree or disagree with these. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!